Tonight, fire crews in Labrador kicking into high gear. Residents of Labrador City and Wabush being told be ready to leave at a moment's notice. We'll have the latest on that story. And
it's nice to be the first captain to take the Evacuation off the dock in North Sydney.
I can't talk. I just can't talk. I'm so excited for her.
the Evacuation's first passenger voyage was a success, but no one was happier than the mother of the ship's captain. We'll take you aboard the new vessel.
St. John's very own Owen Shepherd is back on home turf after around 3 years away. We'll catch up with him coming up.
Staying grounded is easy because I'm surrounded by grounded folks.
We'll also catch up with William Prince, tonight's headlining act at the Newfoundland and Labrador Folk Festival in Bannerman Park.
This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. We begin tonight with breaking news on the wildfire situation in Labrador. An evacuation alert has been issued for parts of western Labrador. Fire crews are bracing this hour as hot, dry weather has escalated the wildfire situation. The smoke intensified over Labrador West late this afternoon. There are now 11 active wildfires in Labrador, and residents of Labrador City and Wabush are being told to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. The priority area, an out-of-control fire burning west of Labrador City. Provincial Fire Duty Officer Jeff Motti says the wildfire is moving fast. The fire and smoke are so intense right now, they've had to pull back the water bombers.
We are seeing extreme fire behavior out there. The fire is moving about 50 meters per minute, so it's covering a fair amount of ground quickly. So our team has been there actioning the fire all day long with water bombers. I got to the point where it's not safe to have the water bombers on it anymore. So we had to pull the water bombers off. And we've reached out to the emergency service divisions and other stakeholders. And I guess we've talked to municipalities of Wabush and Lab City. And right now there's evacuation alerts in place for them. So I really don't want to cross any messaging because there's going to be direct messaging coming out from an emergency services in what they should do. So you should see that very soon, and it'll be crystal clear information. But I mean, people should be getting ready in the very least to leave at a moment's notice. So our plan, as in the past, is we're going to throw everything possible at this. We've got a management team meeting right now, coming up with management strategies. We've got additional resources coming in from New Brunswick. We might have to look at other resources as well. We are going to have, considerable aircraft in terms of helicopters and water bombers on this fire. And we're going to protect whatever critical infrastructure that's out there in terms of highways, railways, and nearby, campgrounds. It's very concerning, of course, anytime you're dealing with this kind of fire behavior. I mean, it's concerning for us because we've already gone through community evacuations this year, and we're fortunate enough to get people back in. But, it's very concerning from the perspective of that fire is approaching communities, and people are going to be disrupted in their lifestyles. They're going to be very stressed, and that's not something that well, it's definitely something we're concerned about.
Okay, so as you just heard, additional resources are being brought in from New Brunswick to help fight the moving fire in Labrador West. And once again, residents of Labrador City and Wabush are being told to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. The fire duty officer also says crews will try to protect whatever critical infrastructure they can. That's highways, railways, and campgrounds. Now, the weather, of course, will play a critical role this weekend. So let's bring in Ashley now. There's concern about the forecast and how it could hamper firefighting efforts. What can you tell us about that, Ashley?
Yeah, exactly. They want rain, obviously. That's exactly what is needed. But unfortunately, over the next 24 hours, there isn't a whole lot of it out there in the forecast. Slight chance we'll see some showers tonight, but this is the view right now looking west. It is 27 degrees in Wabush. Those winds really not helping. Near 48 kilometer per hour wind gusts, very dry conditions as well. And over the next few hours, temperatures are going to drop, but it is still going to be fairly mild tonight. We are looking at those winds, though, shifting a little bit from westerlies to northwesterlies. And most of that smoke is actually in the upper atmosphere. And you see this afternoon that really, we really saw that smoke amp up. But if we take a look at what's going on across the country, there's a lot of smoke up aloft anyway, and this is definitely just adding to it. So tonight we will see those winds, like I said, move to the northwest. I do think some of this smoke could make it down to the surface potentially through the overnight, but those northwesterly winds are going to stick around through tomorrow. Now, as far as what's going on for the forecast, overall, we're looking at the potential for some thunderstorms again near Sunday and then into Monday, and that is certainly not what we want to hear. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up a little later.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, a man is dead following an early morning crash on the Trans-Canada Highway. It happened shortly after 5 o'clock east of the Bay d'Espoir Junction. A passing motorist came upon the single vehicle crash. According to the RCMP, the 43-year-old man went off the road and rolled over an embankment. He was the only person traveling in the vehicle and died at the scene. Well, the RNC has concluded its investigation into the death of an inmate at HMP last December, and no charges have been laid. Seamus Flynn was 35 when he died after being taken to hospital from prison, but his family has expressed concerns about why he didn't get medical attention sooner. In December, the RNC said it had launched an investigation into the circumstances leading up to Flynn's death. Today, the police confirmed that investigation has wrapped up with no charges laid. Well, businesses in the Argentia area hope the tide will start turning now that Marine Atlantic's new ferry run is operating after weeks of delays. Here Now's Heather Gillis has more from Argentia, as well as this look inside the new ship.
Many were relieved to see Marine Atlantic's new ferry, the Alasunu, dock in Argentia yesterday. None more than Maxine Mulrooney. Her daughter, Heidi Thomas, is one of the ship's captains.
I can't talk. I just can't talk. I'm so excited for her. Yeah. She worked so hard.
The only female captain with Marine Atlantic, Thomas has steered every ship in the fleet. She sailed this one off the dock in North Sydney on its maiden voyage.
Oh, it's pretty nice. You know, I am from this local area, so it's actually nice to be on board for the first arrival here in Argentia, especially being a hometown girl here.
Thomas and family weren't the only ones happy to see the ship sailing in. Placenta's mayor was too. With a third of the tourism season lost to mechanical issues, Keith Pearson is hoping regular sailings will help bolster local business.
I mean, you're looking at $500,000, double that again. Could be up to $502 million lost in revenue for the local area, which is certainly a large hit on businesses.
Marine Atlantic has leased the Alasunu for 5 years. Aboard, it's got that new car smell. Deluxe cabins like this one. 40 smaller pods, too. There are 31 pet-friendly cabins, additional kennels, and even a place for them to go pee. There's a bar, a restaurant, with lots of seating throughout the interior and out here on the deck. It's a modern vessel built with accessibility and inclusion in mind. Alasunu means traveler in Mi'kmaq, and Indigenous art has been included in the design. With the ship now sailing after weeks of delays, Marine Atlantic hopes stormy seas are behind them, a hope shared by Placenta's mayor and the businesses who operate here. Heather Gillis, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, professional soccer player Owen Shepherd is back playing on his home turf. Last year, Shepherd was selected first overall by Manitoba's pro soccer club Valor FC. This is the first time he's been back to play in 3 years. The CBC's Jessica Singer joined him on the field.
So I'm here wearing the team colors. This was definitely planned beforehand. And I'm with Owen Shepherd, and he's going to teach me some hopefully simple soccer tricks. All right, what's up first?
So the first one is just some regular juggling. Let's go right foot, right foot.
Yeah, just some regular, you know? Can I start like this?
Yeah, you start with the hands.
I did something, guys. I did something. That's all.
So the next one we'll do is just around the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just in around the world. I don't even know if I could follow what you did there exactly.
So the next one's just a penalty shot. This happens if there's a foul or a handball inside the box, and you just get a free shot.
Okay.
That's a good pen, to be fair. Oh, you were close.
That's scary. It's
You
so
were close.
fast.
Yeah, my mom and dad get really emotional when they watch me play. My mom says when she's even watching the TV, she'll scream at the TV sometimes, but I know that they're very happy, and might be some waterworks when the game's done because they'll be so proud, but it'll be a good experience. Having the ball at my feet it just brings me happiness, and I started the game when I was young and just kind of stick with it the whole time throughout all these years. And even where I'm training, if I'm alone or anything like that, I just love the sport so much that it makes me happy as a person, but like it's other people that maybe their niche makes them happy, but my niche is soccer, and it makes me very happy to play the sport. And a message to other kids is to keep going and pursue those dreams, that if you want to be a professional player, that it's always accountable and that you can do it. I like to use myself as an example that I was a person from Newfoundland, and not even from St. John's, but from Grand Lapeer, a place of 250 people. So you don't have to be from a big city or have all these resources. As long as you kind of just trust yourself and trust the process, then anything can happen.
I'm Amanda Gear with The Signal. We're here at Bannerman Park for the kickoff to the NL Folk Festival. I have a very special guest that's headlining tonight here with me now, William Prince. So how does it feel being back in St. John's with your band? What's the difference between performing on solo on the stage by yourself with your guitar compared to a full band?
There's just energy, spending time with these people that I love, that are becoming like a family to me. It's nice to present the songs in their full form. I did a lot of years solo where I was singing by myself, and so you just feel all that more confident and at home in your own song when you have players with you. And this is a particularly special show because we have a couple local players joining us on stage, and I hear they're quite revered in this town. So we had a rehearsal this morning, and I can't wait. I can't wait to put it all together because everybody's really excited, and the band sounds great.
Where do you get your inspiration for your music, William?
Right here in the park, everywhere you go. Just family, and the whole kind of cosmic stream of it all is really what keeps me upright and writing things. It's the human experience that we all live and share. I'm trying to tap deeper and deeper into that all the time, so no shortage of inspiration, just out here living and enjoying it, standing in the joy, you could say.
Absolutely, I love that. Good plug there for your new album. So does your indigeneity inform any of your music and your songs?
I might think about it the least. It's just such a part of me, I learned my indigeneity in adulthood, so to say. I was raised in a home where I wasn't really privy to tapping into that. And so as I became an informed adult and started spending time around those that are informed and leaders in the Indigenous community, I started to feel, this sense of pride that is ancient and I guess rightfully mine. So yeah, the lived experience. I want to be a good foot forward and just a great songwriter and artist and person to people. And my indigeneity is always along for the ride. And at the same time, I just want to show people that, we're out here living, creating art. We are so much more than our traumas, than all those things. We are dance and culture and song and laughter, lightheartedness in the park, all these great things. I think that's where I want my indigeneity to shine.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. So you're the headliner tonight. Give us a plug. What time and where can folks catch you?
Oh gosh, this evening sometime. And
I think it's around 10:40.
Oh, is
you're
it?
Going to be on?
Holy cow, that's a late one. All right. Well, I'll be there this evening, and looking forward. Like I said, we got the couple local players. Really looking forward. I love the songs we're playing these days. They're light and joyful, and with that, it's gonna be great.
Ashley, before we get to the forecast, we have an update on the forest fire situation in Labrador West. Labrador City is now under an evacuation order, and that means residents there are at risk and have to leave immediately. Now, this comes from the provincial government, which has just issued the order in a statement. We are trying to get in contact with government for clarity on what this means, but it's our understanding that Labrador City residents are now under an evacuation order, while residents of Wabush remain on alert. So the statement says the fire has the potential to grow significantly closer to Labrador West over the next 24 to 48 hours. So definitely something to keep an eye on. You know, you can always head to our website as well, cbc.ca/NL. But Ashley, let's talk about the weather, because this is an important factor in all of this. Lots of hot, dry weather on the way. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, exactly. So we saw really hot weather today. Let's take a look at the forecast for tomorrow. Down to 23 degrees. That is still quite warm. It's going to be dry as well. well, but the winds are going to be a lot less and out of the northwest tomorrow, anywhere from 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. Now, there is rain in the forecast both Sunday and Monday, but unfortunately that is going to come with the risk of some thunderstorms. And again, that is not something that residents in Lab West want to hear, but we're looking at those winds turning back to westerly, anywhere from 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Now, the relative humidity is going to go up because we have that rain in the forecast, but your temperatures are still going to be in the low to mid 20s during the early part of next week. So taking a look at what's going on right now across the province, we do have that cloud cover right across most of the island. Northern Peninsula, you've been seeing a beautiful day, and most of Labrador as well. Happy Valley, Goose Bay, even towards the coast, seeing some very hot and dry conditions as well. There are a few showers working their way across the Avalon at the moment. Don't be surprised if you're heading out tonight that you will see some drizzle. It shouldn't be too much, but that risk is certainly still there. Temperatures still quite hot up across Labrador, 27 to 31 degrees, and towards the coast anywhere from 25 to 27. We are seeing some hot temperatures across the island as well. 27 is what it is right now in Deer Lake. Quite the difference as you head towards the Avalon. Temperatures only sitting around 15 degrees in St. John's right now. As we head through tonight, that risk of showers will linger. Chance of some drizzle as well. Up across Labrador, slight chance in Lab West that we will see some showers. I don't think it's going to do much, but there is still that chance of showers. That'll move towards Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and towards the coast of Labrador as we head through early Saturday morning. And tonight, our temperatures are going to stay relatively mild, 13 to 18 degrees up across Labrador, anywhere from 11 to 15. But again, those winds will ease slightly. As we head into tomorrow, likely a cloudy start to the day, but there are chance of showers will still linger for the west coast of the island and the southwest coast of the island. Another clear day expected up across Labrador. And we will see those clouds on the increase, though, as the day goes on for the island, especially into the evening hours. And again, if you're heading out to Folk Fest, you may see the chance of some drizzle again tomorrow evening. Very slight chance, but it is there. It is going to be mild and humid tomorrow, though, right across the board. And as we head into Sunday, better chance of seeing some showers. There's some sunny periods in there as well, but that will be the best chance of seeing some showers. Overall tomorrow, our daytime highs will be in the mid to upper 20s, except in onshore flow. Again, your temperatures will be cooler, only about 17 or 18 degrees. Winds generally out of the southwest or west, only about 20 kilometers per hour. Up across the big land, temperatures towards the coast will be cooler, but a little warmer for central and western Labrador tomorrow. And then our long-range forecast showing temperatures will warm up as we head into next week. And again, these muggy conditions will stick around. Return to some showers by the time we get into Wednesday. And then for Labrador, for central and western Newfoundland, you are looking at warm temperatures right through Wednesday, with the chance of some unsettled conditions as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. And then for eastern Labrador, that risk of thunderstorms again on Monday. The good thing is, though, that temperatures are going to drop, and it does look like things will get a little bit more rainy as we head into next week, which will certainly help with the situation. Now, our weather photo today is after a thunderstorm. This was in Culls Harbor, and thank you so much for that photo. If you have any weather photos that you would like to share with us, you can send them to Facebook or email them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Oh, it's a beautiful shot. Thank you so much for that, Gerald. And once again, just want to repeat that the province has issued an evacuation order for the town of Labrador City due to the wildfires. Residents of Wabush are being asked to remain vigilant as conditions can change. We'll have the latest on our website, cbc.ca/NL. And now we're dedicating the rest of the show to a special land and sea blast from the past. So tonight we'll be getting to your birthdays and anniversaries a little bit earlier, so let's have a look. Congratulations to Melvin and Linda Earl of St. John's on their 55th anniversary. Happy 53rd anniversary to Jean and Gerald Parsons from Heart's Content. Wishing Mabel and William Crocker of Creston, now living in Ajax, a happy 58th anniversary. Happy 61st anniversary to Max and Ethel Hollett of Grand Bank. Anniversary greetings going out to George and Doris Fudge of Franceway. They're marking 55 years of marriage. Happy anniversary to Herb and Marjorie Carruthers. They're celebrating 62 years together. Happy 54th wedding anniversary to Winston and Janice Piercy from Trinity Bay, now living in Ontario. It's a golden anniversary for Tony and Jesse Cole of Mount Pearl. Happy 50th anniversary today to Calvin and maybe Kippenhuck of Deer Lake. Wishing Ed and Martha Lehman of St. John's a happy 65th wedding anniversary. Jim and Bernice Hayes of Georgetown, Conception Bay are celebrating 55 years of marriage. Happy 55th anniversary also to Joan and Alan Bailey of Elliott's Cove, Random Island. Congratulations to Fred and Shirley Humber of Happy Valley Goose Bay. It's their 50th anniversary today. Happy 50th anniversary also to Bill and Trudy McLean of Paradise. Happy 65th anniversary to Pat and Dora Hickey of Gander, now living in CBS. Wishing Ron and Rosemary Alexander of Black Duck Siding a happy 50th anniversary tomorrow. Congratulations to Foster and Marguerite Thornhill on their 59th anniversary. Dennis and Shirley Gaslard of Port au Choix are celebrating their 55th anniversary today. It's a 59th anniversary for Jim and Marie Suley in Heart's Delight. Wishing Violet and Gordon Monk of St. John's a happy 56th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to Loretta and Percy Benoit on their 61st anniversary. They're from the Stephenville area, but we're told they now live mostly at Costco, and they're not the only ones. Happy anniversary to Gary and Pamela Hillier of St. Anthony. Happy 60th wedding anniversary to Bob and Judy Curlew from Lewisport. Happy anniversary to Jim and Barb Dunn. They're marking 51 years of marriage. Happy 55th anniversary to Linda and Roland Williams of St. George's. Now to some birthdays. Happy 93rd birthday to Heber McGurk in Carbonear. Wishing Mary Sturge and St. John's a happy 96th birthday. Birthday greetings going out to Nathaniel Smith, who's also turning 96. Joseph Duke Noftel from Corner Brook just turned 91. He now lives in Halifax. Happy birthday to Cyril Chubbs of St. Louis on his 91st birthday. Wishing Edgar Snow from Harbor Grace a very happy 90th birthday today. Emily Coates turns 102 this Monday. She's from Glenwood, but now lives in Gander. Greetings from her 14 children and over 200 grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. Happy birthday to Marie Windsor, who turns 101 tomorrow. She's living in Paradise, sending love from family and friends. Happy 93rd birthday today to Eileen Dwyer of Carbonear. Julia Marr just turned 92. She's from Bird Cove and now lives in Port Saunders. And happy birthday to Eleanor Ryan of Brigus South, who will be 91 years young this Sunday.
Hi everyone, I'm Jane Adey, host of Land and Sea. This fall, we're celebrating a big anniversary, our 60th season on the air. This summer, leading up to our special season, we're dipping into our Land and Sea archives for Here and Now viewers. Today, we're taking you all the way back to 1979 and a show all about Sir William Coker.
On November the 2nd, 1978, I went to Herring Neck. It was the 70th anniversary of the founding of the Fishermen's Protective Union, the FPU, a remarkable organization led by a remarkable man. After checking around, I found the Orange Lodge where that first meeting was held. A lady loaned me an old homemade FPU flag she'd kept tucked away all those years, and the son of one of the fishermen who attended that meeting hoisted it for me over the lodge where it all began, exactly 70 years before. A strange little ritual, no crowds, no bands, no cheering. Just the two of us and the tattered old FPU flag flapping in the cold November air, and memories of a man and a union that should never be forgotten.
They're ready and they're waiting, some solid free and bold, to be led by you like Moses, let me Israelites of old. They are ready for to sever from the merchant servant on. Here coming Mr. Coker and we're 40,000 strong. We're coming Mr. Coker and we're 40,000 strong.
William Coker was loved and despised, revered and vilified. To some, he was an agitator, a rogue, a scoundrel, a crook. To others, a great reformer, a patriot, a genius. To the fishermen of our northern bays, he was a fearless leader, a champion of the common man, a kind of northern messiah who led them out of economic bondage. Back in the early days of this century, our fishermen were scattered in 1,000 coves. There were no roads, no hospitals, no services, no government assistance. Government was by the rich and for the rich, and a long ways away, in St. John's. That's where the big fish merchants were too, the men who took the salt fish and shipped it away. They seemed to live well enough, but there was rarely enough money to ever wipe out the fisherman's debt. Fishermen were shackled to an archaic system of credit and barter. It was a hopeless, soul-destroying existence. Enter William Coker, a man destined to shake the established order and to instill in our fishermen a sense of direction and a feeling of pride and power. As a boy, Coker yaffled fish aboard schooners here in St. John's Harbour. At 13, he organized a strike which increased fish handlers' wages to 40 cents a day. At 16, he articled as a clerk. By the age of 20, he owned a small business, but was ruined by the bank crash of 1896. Then he turned to farming on this island in Dildo Run, Notre Dame Bay. We had a job finding it, for Coker's farm is already fading from memory. There's not much to be seen here now. A few stones and slabs of concrete hidden in the grass, remains, I suppose, of his house and barn. This large clearing in the forest must have been his farm. Not much to indicate that this was once the home and the dream of William Coker. Cokerville, he called it. Here he labored for years with axe and plow. But this island was also a retreat for William Coker, for while he was farming, he was also thinking, dreaming, planning, and drafting up a constitution of a union which would free Outport, Newfoundland once and for all from the yoke of the greedy merchants and the callous politicians.
The winter evenings and stormy Sundays gave me the leisure for reading and study. and whatever I worked at, I always found myself drifting away to thoughts of the toiler's life and its hardships, while so many live lives of ease without toiling or producing.
On November the 2nd, 1908, Coker was ready. He launched his boat and sailed to Herring Neck. Fishermen gathered at the Orange Lodge to hear this strange hermit farmer speak.
I had never addressed a public meeting before that night and was a little nervous about the result. But after speaking 5 minutes, all doubt had been dispelled, and I went on for 2 hours, finding words to put my feelings into expression, and did so without effort and without hesitation. There was a packed hall, and after another address of 2 hours, I asked all who believed in cooperation to remain in order to start an organization. 19 remained.
It must have taken courage, you know, to stand with Coker that night, to join a union, to openly defy the established order. It wasn't long, though, before those 19 Herring Neck fishermen had company. For young Coker, bursting with enthusiasm, bristling with confidence, traveled on to other outports, rallying fishermen around him, forming new locals of the FPU. His farm was soon forgotten as he moved along the coast, by horse, by boat, by dog team, on foot, rallying fishermen to his union, fanning the fires of discontent which smoldered inside them.
The fishermen quietly, and because they didn't express themselves, they didn't hold meetings, there was no protest movement, but quietly each man in his own feeling was disappointed in the price he got for his fish. He was disappointed in the cull of his fish. He had the feeling that the merchants were fleecing him in the price of the supplies that the fisherman got on credit from the merchant, in the way the fish was culled, the fish that was to pay for the supplies, in the price for the fish. He was being cheated. This was his feeling. Whether he was or not, this was his feeling. He felt that he was being cheated by the merchants. And there was a powerful anti-merchant feeling. And of course, Coker had that to go by. This was a tremendous common denominator between him and the fishermen. The more he raked the merchants, the more he attacked them, the more he exposed them, the more he ridiculed them, the more he slashed them.
Whose hard earnings have built up the country? Whose hard earnings have maintained in luxury from year to year the army of bloodsuckers inhabiting this land, in the shape of ministers of the crown, civil servants, and government healers? Who? The fishermen! The despised, ill-treated, downtrodden fishermen! The mainstay, bone, and sinew of our island home!
St. John's in those days was filled with vessels, small schooners bringing fish from the outports, and big three-masted foreign-going vessels loading fish for Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, South America, and the West Indies. The waterfront was the hub of the island's economy. Coker realized that the only way to effectively challenge the Water Street merchants was to enter into direct competition. So the Fishermen's Union Trading Company was formed. There wasn't room for the new company here in St. John's, so Coker looked north, and Port Union was born. Here on the north side of Trinity Bay, Coker would build a town around the Union store. He would buy fish from Union members, bring in supplies for the fishermen of the northeast coast, ship their fish away to the European markets, and challenge the fish merchants at their own game. Port Union has changed over the years, but you can still see the stamp of the Union. The trading company premises, empty now. The houses built for the fishermen and their families who flocked here to work for Coker and the Union. Aaron Bailey, the son of a Labrador skipperman, rose through the ranks to eventually become president of the Fishermen Union Trading Company. He's seen the birth and growth of Port Union.
In 1911, when the trading company was formed, they were operating out of St. John's, and the fish operation was on the northeast coast, and they didn't have the facilities in St. John's to handle the fish for export, because that's why they had to get into the way the trading company was formed, because they had to export fish. So Trinity was supposed to be the site we looked at first. Then that was blocked, and this was the only site south of Bonavista Cape for 12 months shipping port. So in 1916 they start the operations here. The plant start to build here in 1916, so that they could bring in their fish here, store it, package it, and export it throughout the 12 months to the European and South American fish markets.
Coker was a man of vision and imagination. The network of ponds and rivers behind Port Union was harnessed. Much of the work done by fishermen with pick and shovel. The power plant, built in 1916, is still ship-shape, operating perfectly, supplying the electrical needs of all the surrounding towns. It's startling to realize that this was all functioning here more than 60 years ago, a time when practically all of Newfoundland was lit by lamps. The power helped Coker the inventor too, for from his fertile mind came many schemes and plans to improve and modernize the fishery.
Well, the fish operation was the elevators, which was the first elevators in Newfoundland in a fish store. It was also for the fish presses, which they brought in, which, by the way, was a hay press converted to electric press for pressing fish in the cask and into the drums.
Was this Coker's idea?
This was his own idea, because he had worked on a Grinshields farm outside of Montreal learning sheep raising, and they were baling hay there. That's where he got the idea from.
The Fisherman's Advocate is still published in Port Union. Once it was the most influential newspaper printed in Newfoundland, a powerful vehicle for Coker and the Union to spread the message throughout the land. It was no mere propaganda sheet either, for it provided complete journalistic services to a group never before tuned in to the outside world, the fishermen. It had other uses too. One old lady claimed her bread wouldn't rise unless it was covered by the Advocate. It was inevitable, I suppose, that Coker would enter politics. Here he is with his Union party. Fishermen, or sons of fishermen, boat builders, practical men all, men who knew Outport Newfoundland well, for they were Outport Newfoundland. Originally, at least, they did not want to rule. They wanted to hold the balance of power, to be in a position of neutrality in the House, supporting whichever party that would do the utmost for the masses. The Union Party swept the north and proudly marched into the House of Assembly. It was a remarkable moment in our history.
So when Coker went in the House of Assembly, he went in there knowing more, perhaps, about the affairs around the island, around the country, than any member of the House knew. And the enormous fun he would have when the estimates came before the House, the estimates of the proposed expenditure for the coming year. He says, "Hey, $50 this fella. This is one of the old Tory healers, one of the healers. Now you're going to pay him off, huh? You're going to pay him off out of public funds." And he could name every single individual vote. It was astonishing, the knowledge he had of the places and the things and the people and the individuals of the whole northeast coast. I think he could have called thousands of fishermen by their first name, and he would know who the shopkeepers were and the merchants and all that. And he took diabolical pleasure in exposing what never would have been exposed in the House of Assembly.
Welcome back. We're cutting into our special programming to bring you some more information on a developing situation in Labrador West. Some breaking news. The province has issued an evacuation order for the town of Labrador City due to the wildfires. Residents of Labrador City are asked to evacuate as soon as possible and take only essential items with you. We have reporter Michael Moore standing by live now with more on the situation. So, Mike, what can you tell us about about what's happening now?
Well, we know this is, it's fast moving. It's fluid. There's a lot of things that are happening that are up in the air right now. Just before 6 o'clock, there were evacuation notices, and in that time, there was an evacuation order then for Labrador City.
Yes, for Labrador City, an evacuation order.
There's no mic in front of me. Okay.
We understand that there's an alert in place for Wabush, and residents there are being asked to remain vigilant. So for folks in Labrador City, can you tell us, what are they supposed to do right now? What are they being told about where to go?
That's a great question. The government news releases, some of the orders that are coming out, it's still unsure. We know that departments are meeting right now. Reporters making phone calls. We're trying to get some more information as well, but we do know that they are meeting. We know that more information is going to come, and we're hoping to have that in any time now, hopefully sooner than later.
One alert that was issued telling residents to, once again, just take just the essentials with you and to go to E.J. Broomfield Arena in Goose Bay. So that's residents of Labrador City being asked to go there and being told that accommodations will be assigned once you arrive there at, once again, the E.J. Broomfield Arena in Goose Bay. And they're also asking that if you have another place to stay, even like with family or friends, officials still are asking folks to check in at the arena there. I guess they want to keep track of who's getting out of Labrador City.
Yeah, that's right. It feels, I guess they learned a lot through a similar situation that we saw with Churchill Falls. They want people checking in. They just, I guess they want to keep a head count of, of who's coming and who's going. And that's to, obviously keep everybody safe or as safe as possible. But again, we're hoping to find out more. We know that, in speaking with the provincial Forest Fire Duty Officer Jeff Motti, just before 6 o'clock, that there is a little bit of concern about the weather for tomorrow. There is a little bit of rain, there's potential there, but temperatures are going to be in the mid-20s. Showers are possible for tonight for Lab West and early tomorrow morning for Happy Valley Goose Bay. But the best chance for rain is Sunday and Monday. And of course, with the rain, there's possibility for thunder showers, and we know that these fires have been starting and restarting with lightning strikes.
Yeah, and Mike, you did mention Jeff Motti, the fire duty officer. We spoke with him a short time ago, so why don't we just have a listen to what he had to say a short time ago.
We are seeing extreme fire behavior out there. The fire is moving about 50 meters per minute. So it's covering a fair amount of ground quickly. So our team has been there actioning the fire all day long with water bombers. I got to the point where it's not safe to have the water bombers on it anymore. So we had to pull the water bombers off. And we've reached out to the emergency service divisions and other stakeholders. And I guess we've talked to municipalities of Wabush and Lab City. And right now there's evacuation alerts in place for them. So I really don't want to cross any messaging, because there's going to be direct messaging coming out from an emergency services in what they should do. So you should see that very, very, very soon, and it'll be crystal clear information. But I mean, people should be getting ready, in the very least, to leave at a moment's notice. So our plan, as in the past, is we're going to throw everything possible at this. We've got a management team meeting right now, coming up with management strategies. We've got additional resources coming in from New Brunswick. We might have to look at other resources as well. We are going to have, considerable aircraft in terms of helicopters and water bombers on this fire. And we're going to protect whatever critical infrastructure that's out there in terms of highways, railways, and nearby, campgrounds. It's very concerning, of course, anytime you're dealing with this kind of fire behavior. I mean, it's concerning for us because we've already gone through community evacuations this year, and we're fortunate enough to get people back in. But, you know, it's very concerning from the perspective of that fire is approaching communities, and people are going to be disrupted in their lifestyles. They're going to be very stressed, and you know, and that's not something that well, it's definitely something we're concerned about.
Sure, and thanks to Mike Moore there for jumping in. This is an evolving situation. A lot of things have been changing over the past couple of hours. And just want to mention as well, if you're in Labrador City and you're getting ready to leave, there is a phone number that you can call if you do need some help with some transportation. So I'll just read out that number. So if you do have a pen handy or whatever, the number is 709-944-2621. That's 709-944-2621. So that's for people who are looking for some help with transportation. If you don't have a way to get out of Labrador City, they are saying to try to leave as soon as possible. Take only the essentials with you and try to head to the E.J. Broomfield Arena in Goose Bay. And even if you do have a family member or friend to stay with, still check in at the arena. As Mike mentioned, it seems like they're trying to keep a head count, see who's leaving Labrador City. And Ashley, as we've talked about, you know, the weather is a huge factor with this weekend. Fire crews are going to be watching that super closely. So, and it's not looking too great, right?
No, with the chance of, you know, slight chance of showers tonight, temperatures are going to drop a little bit. I do think that the potential for the smoke to be around certainly will be through the overnight, but the winds shift to northwesterly tomorrow. That should help kind of clear things out a little bit as far as that smoke is concerned. And the winds tomorrow will be a lot less than what we were seeing today. You know, the winds today were out of the west, somewhere between 50, you know, even close to, or 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, a lot less than that. Northwesterly winds only about 5 to maybe 15 kilometers per hour. So that's good news.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And we did have special programming on, so apologies for breaking into our Land and Sea look back to bring you some of this breaking news. But it's a big situation unfolding right now. And just a reminder that you can always go to our website, cbc.ca/NL, for the latest information and keep an eye on the government websites and on social media. Lots of information coming out that way. So once again, an evacuation order in place for all the residents in Labrador City, an evacuation alert for the folks in Wabush. So they're being asked to keep a close eye on the situation. This fire is a fast-moving fire. The fire duty officers said that it was moving 50 meters per minute. So yeah, something to keep an eye on. Good luck, and thank you so much for joining.